clear from what Keith has said, just dealing with four of the main themes, that we are very serious on this point. And it is pretty much one of our central policies, and that is to get back on track and back to basics on public finances. And that means following the money, whether it's the awarding of a contract, whether it's how the money is spent. It's about ensuring that the taxpayer at all points in time has accountability and transparency as to how the government is spending money. Now, whether the money goes through the government's own books or goes through a government-owned company, the taxpayer has a right to know what is being done with the money and whether it's been spent well. And the problem we have at the moment is that some of the controls which we would have expected to be in place, for example, the principal auditors' reports have been delayed for 6 years. So we haven't had a report since 2016, which makes it very difficult for us in Parliament to hold the government to account if there are any issues. Now, the reasons for that may be resource issues, but whatever they are, that needs to be unblocked and fixed. And in fact, the principal auditor is probably one of the key controls of the public service in terms of money. And we would obviously engage with the principal auditor and, if necessary, legislate to give the principal auditor more powers to look at government companies and what is being done with public money. One angle which is causing me a lot more concern recently than normal is the way the government's so-called National Economic Plan is being funded. It is very clear from recent press releases from the GSLP that their intention is to use a savings bank through community supplies and services to fund property developments. Now, the problem is community supplies and services is owned by a charity. It's not accountable to government. It's a private-owned entity. We've asked in Parliament something simple like, what is the economic rationale for Eastern Beach Sheds? And Sir Joe has said, well, go and ask the company. I don't have any control of that. And yet it's part of his National Economic Plan. And this is the duality that the government plays with. On the one hand, it's part of their plan. On the other hand, it's not accountable to the people. And that's totally unacceptable. And there's no way that this should be allowed to continue. And, you know, if we get elected, it's going to be one of the first things we look at, because that money is coming from the savings bank. Sir Joe Wasana said on public television, there is no money left. So now they're using the money in the savings bank, lending it to an entity which is outside the control of the government, and expecting that the electorate will accept that, with no accountability and no transparency. And this is just one angle of the malaise, I would say, that has infected our public finances for far too long. At the end of the day, this is public finance. It is not private finance. These are not hedge funds. This is public money. The public deserve to know what's been done with their money. It's normal in any country in the world. And therefore, I don't think what we're proposing is anything that should cause alarm to anyone other than those who perhaps have been benefiting at the expense of a taxpayer. So we are committed 110% to undertaking this program if elected into government. And it's a multifaceted approach, as Keith has said. One is looking at what's been going on, two is looking at where we are, and three is making sure that whatever may or may not have gone wrong in the past doesn't happen again, and that we can make sure we stay on the straight and narrow. And that really is our program, and it is something which I believe passionately about, and the party supports, and we will deliver.